Right then. Hello,
Right then.
everyone.
All right, me ducks.
We are live from our motorhome. We can't believe it because we were worried that we wouldn't be able to do our live this week because you'd have just never know of the signal that you're going to get. But we've got 5G. Can you believe that?
5G.
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 So we're pleased to be chatting to you all tonight. So thanks ever so much for. We can see loads and loads of people in the comments already. So please do get your questions there. If you have any questions for us about cruise, travel, motorhome life, or anything about us, then please.
Why I called you me ducks? Have you got any questions about that?
But as you can see, we're in our motorhome, and we are exploring the Peak District for 2 weeks. We started off in Lickpenny campsite, which was
just outside Buxton.
No, it wasn't
Matlock, just outside Matlock, nowhere near Buxton, just outside Matlock.
Yes, so we had a couple of days there.
Which, for the older people watching, was also the name of an American detective program back in the 70s.
Apparently, I don't remember it, but Paulie does. No, I don't. And then we were with the Doolittle Campers, so a lovely couple that have got their own sort of camper van channel, who we met quite a few years ago now and kept in touch, and they're lovely. So we went to Matlock Bath and we had a good explore right there. And now we're in Bakewell. So we've had a little bit of explore, but we'll come on to that because I can see there's lots of questions about Bakewell and stuff. So
so shut your face and get on with it.
Well, I just want to say again, all those that watch us on catch up, please, thank you so much for doing that as well. Because as well as everyone that joined us during the live, there's lots of people watch afterwards. So thank you so much. Sean's here, so always lovely to see Sean, and he always comes up with a very valid point because the comments when this gets busier, sort of in about 10-15 minutes, it's hard to keep up with all the comments. So if you've got a question for us, make sure you start it with questions in capitals, and it helps us pick it out because there's always lots of chat in the comments. So lovely to see you here, Sean. And Greg and Kathy here just saying, I hope you're having a lovely time in Bakewell. We are. And Bridget's just saying, looking forward to a fun chit chat. Just loving the Rocky Mountains. Would love to do that trip. Yeah, we're just putting together our on Friday, our Banff video went out, which has done really well, hasn't it, Paulie?
Yeah,
it's had over 10,000 views now. So if you haven't watched that, please do. And I'm just working. We've had a chill out work day today, so we've been working on our Jasper episode, and we're loving it, aren't we, Paulie? We've been back on the glacier today, haven't we?
We were on a glacier earlier.
Oh. And Kevin's here, so let's see Kevin, who was a star of our Banff video. So
that's probably why I had so many views.
I think so. Yeah. Must be. And Nick's here as well, so as usual, looking forward to this. So we'll get to say hi as we're going through all the questions, and like I say, just check the questions in the comments, and we'll get to them right now. So Nick BBT's here, so love to see you, Nick. What's been your most memorable cruise and why? Memorable.
Excuse me if I reach over there because I can't see out of my glasses.
So memorable. The transatlantic that we've just done was pretty awesome because that was our first that we've done, and actually getting on in New York and getting off in Southampton was just such a civilized way to travel. Cunard for us is always a great experience, isn't it, Paulie? So
the short excursions weren't very good, though, were they?
The short no. We always go back to our Red Sea on Morella Discovery was one of our highlights. Going to Petra, we'll never forget that. And Northern Lights that we did, that was also Morella Discovery, wasn't it?
Yeah. And one of my favourites, because it did have some good excursions, but I loved the ship, was when we did the Celebrity Beyond. Even though it's well publicised how much we didn't like our cabin.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that video yet, head on over to Paul and Carole and watch that. It's entitled Never Again.
Yeah.
But yeah, has definitely been one of my favourite cruises. I'm going to get that fly in.
They've got a fly in here that we can't get rid of. So if we're sort of going a bit crazy, that's why. So so lots of memorable cruises, isn't there? And so many fabulous destinations we've been to. We've been very, very lucky. And loads more to come. We've got some very exciting itineraries coming up. Kevin B's here, yo, from Long Island, New York. So lovely to see you, Kevin. And Barbara's asking, I hope you're enjoying Bakewell tarts. We haven't had a tart yet, have we? But we've had a pudding, but we'll go on to that shortly.
Yeah, you've got to try a Bakewell pudding.
Rose is here saying, good evening, we'll watch British Bake Off after your session. Oh, we're going up against Bake Off, are we? We didn't know that. No chance of us winning that one. So Leslie's asking us, what is your take on cruise hygiene, Carole, and maintenance, Paul? Do you find much variation across lines and ships, and how do they compare with hotels? For me, should I talk about hygiene first? From a having my nurse sort of infection control experience on, I think cruise ships do it well. I think sometimes they don't promote it as much as they should do, or don't police it. One cruise line that I felt handled it very well. We haven't cruised them for a few years, so let us know if they still do this. But outside the Windjammer Cafe on Royal Caribbean, they used to always have the wishy-washy lady. What was her name? She was always shouting that song and rhyme.
I don't know, but she always did a little song.
Yeah.
And she was as jolly as anything and all dancing around.
Yeah.
And she had a big thing of hand sanitizer.
And making sure
everyone who went in there.
Because I don't think it's the cruise lines that their issue, Leslie. It's the passengers. You see people coming out of toilets not washing their hands, going into restaurants not washing their hands. You think that's what they do at home. You think, God, you're filthy.
You'd think that those hand sanitizer is filled with sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
How people avoid them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a massive advocate of buffets that don't let you serve yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry about the dirty, piggy people who don't wash their hands.
Exactly.
Because they don't get to touch anything. All they get to touch is their own stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, when they're in their cabin saying hello to God in the big white telephone, oh, hello.
Poorly.
That's their fault. But it's 99 times out of 100, whenever there's an outbreak of anything, it's because people haven't washed their hands. And what's the first thing they do is they blame the cruise line.
They do. And actually the facilities are all there, and most ships now have sinks in their restaurants, and so the facilities are there. People just choose not to use them. And comparing to hotels and resorts, and I think cruise ships, you know, have a great standard. You'll always see on most lines handrails being cleaned. There'll be someone in the lift wiping over the buttons. How often do you see that in hotels on land?
No,
you just never see it.
We went for a spot of lunch yesterday at a lovely pub in Bakewell.
Yeah, the Peacock.
The Peacock, it was called. Outside, you know, you walk through the outside door and then you're in a little sort of corridor before you go into the main pub. And there's a great big hand sanitizer, and I'm thinking, lovely, squirt, absolutely bone dry.
Yeah.
What can you do?
But yeah, you do tell them, but the
food was great.
The food was great. So maintenance, Paul. Now we had an issue with. Can I just say something about Paul's maintenance? Because we had an issue when we were leaving Lickpenny campsite. Our camper. If you've seen our social media, you have seen this. If you haven't, our camper started, but then it stopped. It cut out. So Paul said, he's seen that there was a couple of wires that looked a bit that they had fallen off. So Paul thought, I'm going to sort this. So with his trusty equipment, he had a pair of pliers and a spectacle repair kit. And how did it work out, Annie?
What impressed me about myself was I actually knew what was wrong. I mean, I've only been in the motor trade for over 30 years and raced cars for nearly 40 years, but I'm not really into the nuts and bolts of things. But I knew what was wrong, but I just didn't have the technology to fix it. So the lovely RAC man came out and he fixed it. And then, because for whatever reason, the pump then wouldn't pull the fuel through. So it flattened the battery on the van, and then the RAC man plugged it into his van, and we whizzed her over and put a bit of easy start in it, which is like a spray type stuff to kick things into life. And she fired up and has been as good as gold ever since.
And the RAC man was awesome, wasn't he?
Great,
and I was worried because we were only going about 12 miles. I said, would you mind? Are you going that way? Would you follow us just in case? And he did. He was going that way, so we followed us. So that was brilliant.
Top man.
So also, it says, do you find much variation across lines? And how do they compare with hotels? Maintenance, Paulie, what do you think about? I've got something that's come into my head about maintenance.
You crack on then, mate, because
I think at the moment, you know, after our experience on Queen Mary 2, there's ships that are looking they're looking tired. I don't think there's been the time and effort to keep them ship shape as such. So they do need some TLC. Maintenance, as in, you know, safety, and that I think is top draw. But the little touches I think on some ships could do with improving, particularly on the older ships.
We went on a tender boat, which was a lifeboat, and the skylight, I wanted to put my Insta 360 out through the skylight, so I went to open the skylight and it fell off. So that's a good start. So you're out, you know, marooned in the middle of the sea, and the skylight fell off. What's this maintenance? Ship maintenance?
It is maintenance, yes.
And it looked like somebody had emptied a bin full of rubbish in there.
So
I did find that a little bit concerning, to be honest, because that's the thing that's going to save your life if the poopy hits the fan.
But the litter could have been just put there, but they should have. The maintenance of that should have been done through the day.
And I think the trouble
but it worked well. We got there.
Oh yeah, it worked there. We got there and back. And I think the trouble is you can only blame the pandemic for so long.
Yes.
And it's now time to, pull your big boy pants up and get the job done properly. Which I know, obviously, we went on Queen Mary 2, and that was the ship still very, very pretty, but there's just areas, it's just a little bit rough around the edges.
It's going to dry dock in November, so and all that should be rectified.
Yeah.
So, but the ships get, well, you're at sea all the time. You're going to get rust here and rust there, aren't you? But from a safety point of view, we've never had any issues where we thought this is unsafe, and I don't feel that I want. I've never had that.
We did have on that was Cunard, unfortunately, because we love Cunard, and I'm being a bit mean to Cunard tonight. But when my dad and my brother stayed in their cabin, my brother said, there's a banging noise all night outside our cabin. So I went round there, and we went out on the balcony, and the balcony divider that's supposed to have a key to open it up was tied together with a piece of string.
Yeah.
And it was rattling all night. So I went and complained, because it's obviously a safety issue, plus the fact it's banging all night and my dad and my brother couldn't get any sleep. So they went round and they screwed it shut. So if that was your only means of escape, apart from throwing yourself overboard, you were in the mire, basically. So I wasn't, even with my pliers and spectacle repair kit, I think I could have done a better job than what they did.
Yeah.
But
anyway, let's go on to the next question, because there's lots that I can see popping up, so that's great. Daftcat Travels here, so lovely to see you guys. They're off on NCL and a Haven suite soon, so it'll be interesting to see what you think of that. Morris is here. So good evening, everyone. Question, what do you think of Bakewell pudding? Well, we had our first one yesterday. What do you think, Paulie?
I thought it was nice.
It was lovely.
I love anything with icing on, so I was a bit dubious, because obviously there's no. Well, it's a totally different animal, isn't it? Really, it's not really pastry.
Well, it's like a suet.
Yeah,
it's like a suet pudding. We had a little one that we shared with the same sort of innards as Bakewell tart, but it's far more suety, isn't it?
Yeah,
but the flavors. If you love almond, then it's just
what
awesome.
would have? I bet it's nice hot with some custard on.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, I bet it was. Well, it would be. Philippa's here. Lovely to see Philippa. Early, yes. So that's good. And Frank and Jen from New Mexico. Hello from the Valley of Fires Recreation Area on a campground in South Central New Mexico. Looking forward to the live. Well, that sounds very exotic, doesn't it?
It does.
Sounds more exotic than Green Hills Holiday Park. Alfie's here saying, good evening. The boss let me in each other until Bake Off starts. Right, let's have a look. Sue's off on the Morale Explorer on Thursday. My case is packed, ready for a cruise and ready for you two. Brilliant.
Oh, you have a fabulous time, Sue. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. And Bob and Holly are here. So lovely to see Bob and Holly and abroad. Good afternoon from Miami. Yes, they're off to the Galapagos tomorrow. How excited is that? That is definitely on our to-do list. So
we didn't have to know that, though, did we?
Well, we are very jealous of that. But we will be catching up with Bob and Holly in November on our Azamara cruise, so looking forward to that. So have a great time, guys. And for all of you that are new to this live and don't know Bob and Holly, Innocents Abroad, they've got a great channel with some great content, and so make sure you follow them on socials as well as they explore the Galapagos. So let's have a look. Claire was just asking, so hi there, Claire, how's your camper van? Hopefully you've heard all that. It's fully repaired and we're doing all right.
I did a precautionary startup this morning, and she was as good as gold.
Yes. Lots of people saying hello to each other and chatting in the comments. We also vote for dinner, so we'll have to catch up with us. No problem. We'll speak to you soon.
Well, we're talking about him because he's not here then.
Yeah. See, Bob knows Matlock was Andy Griffith. Is that right?
Bob, I would bow to your greater knowledge. I just remember it, and I'm not being mean here, but I was in my youth, and funny enough, I phoned my dad a couple of days ago and said where we were going, and I said to him, I said, wasn't that an old like American police or lawyery type program? And my dad said yes, it was, but he didn't tell me who was in it. But I do have a vague back ear somewhere, back of the brain, wherever that rubbish goes. I do remember it.
And so Top Beauty Buys is here. So hi there. Hello. Could you please tell us more about the selfie stick that you used in Banff? Thank you, Sarah. Over to you. Hello there. Can you hear us? I don't know what that's all gone a bit pear shaped. So, but we're back. Can anyone let us know if you can hear us and if we're back, because I don't know what happened there. So if anyone can let us know, yes, we'll be back. Brilliant. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but there we are. We can't do a lot about that. But thanks for all you guys who've stuck around. Appreciate that. So let's get back to where we were. Oh, Paulie's big pole. That's it.
Well, this is the big one, which wasn't the one I used at Banff. But basically, when you buy an Insta360, part of the kit is you get an extendable pole, which where are we? Extendable poles, but it extends. The standard pole is about.
Yeah.
That's the big one,
That's the big one.
which is humongous, which is about as long as our camper.
If you pass me the bag there.
This one?
No, the orange bag. But basically, you carry on explaining, Paulie.
It screws onto the end of the camera, but for some strange reason, it's invisible to the camera. So that's why you get like the drone type footage. So it looks like somebody else is taking the thing. And obviously with the longer pole, but I mean the longer pole's like £100. So, but we've got a short we're going to put out tomorrow of a little waterfall we went past a couple of days ago. And if you have a look at the footage on that when we put the short out, you'll see it's just bonkers how it makes it look like
it's able to get you those drone effects, isn't it? So and it's an incredible bit of kit, the 360. So yeah, so that's it. It looks like a lot of our comments have disappeared as well, so if you had a question for us, please just pop the question back in and we'll do our best to answer that. So let's go to the Doddolds. My husband and I have just started our new YouTube channel. We're doing a 15-night cruise with Virgin in November, which we want to vlog. Do you have any advice? Yes, lots really. Just be respectful of people's privacy, and because there's some vloggers that will walk around with cameras, you know,
and shoving it in your face.
Yeah, because I think you have to try and do things discreetly, and also I know on airlines now, because a lot of people do airline videos, that now they ask that you're not to video or take pictures unless you get people's permission. So I think people are becoming more and more aware of that. So just be aware of your surroundings and be aware of people's privacy. Don't worry about buying expensive kit, because start off with your phone and see if it's something that you want to do, because people say, I'm going to do some vlogging. It's hard work. It's a lot of work. And all the guys that are in the comments here that are vloggers will tell you, you know, editing just a 20-minute video can take hours and hours and hours. So, but do it. Be open and honest, and just be yourselves. That would be my biggest.
Yes, but I will say, a 15-night cruise is a biting off a big chunk for it to be your first vlog.
If you're going to do daily vlogs,
if you're going to do daily vlogs, that is a ton of work you're taking on. And what we find with longer cruises is the further you go into those episodes, the more the audience drops off.
Yeah.
So
so be selective of what you wanted to do. Really, I would pick. But if you're start off, pick a couple of topics on that ship that you want to concentrate on, and start with that, because taking on a huge
yeah, it's a big old lump of work you're taking on there.
Right, so let's see. So Traveling Likes here saying, thank you for your advice last week on tax in Thailand. I booked the TUI Far East cruise. Oh, brilliant. Going in January 24. The excursions were really well priced. Have a fab time in the peaks. Yeah, TUI excursions are actually very well priced compared to others. So so enjoy, have fun. And that's that. Their itineraries are excellent.
Well, many moons ago, we were actually holidaying in Koh Samui, and I'd be very surprised if that isn't one of your ports of call.
Yeah.
And because we'd got to know a few people on the ship, everybody got up there. I've never seen a ship so empty. And Gavin Carole, who's cruise director at the time, he's now on Virtuosa. And we knew the captain, and we knew a few other people that was on there. So they actually invited us on. So we got on the Discovery for lunch,
We did.
and everybody else got off. But I didn't see a single passenger. It was just like
Everyone was off.
Everyone was
exploring.
off. But if Naton, spelled Nathon, in Koh Samui is on your schedule, I can tell you where the best place to get a fantastic chicken massaman is.
Yes, that's true. Also, just thinking about, we've just been doing some work on our website with TUI about their repositioning cruises and their winter cruises, and we've been going through all the itineraries, and we've been looking for ourselves because we obviously want to get back on Morella because we love Morella. So if you want to know more about that, make sure you just go to we've got a huge page, a huge category on our website, and if you just Google Paul and Carole Love to Travel Morella, you'll see that there's all the information there about the ships, about itineraries, and about actually all the drinks prices and packages, etc. So go and check that out too. So let's have a look.
I'm getting quite disgruntled now because we opened the door to try and let the internet in. And somebody has just had an Indian takeaway delivered.
Yes, it smells
and it
lovely.
Smells fabulous. Oh. And as some of you may know, we've been dieting, and we're
doing well.
We're so. I mean, I'm still as fat as a whale, but I'm chuffed to bits that I weighed this morning, and I've now lost a smidge over a stone.
And I've lost 10 pounds. So we're really in the zone, aren't we, Paul? We're doing lots of walking, and we're doing sort of intermittent fasting. So we're only eating in a short window in the day, and then making healthy choices. But today we made a roast dinner, didn't we?
We did.
So, but with lots of vegetables.
Look on our Instagram story. Yes. These people who say you can't cook properly in a motorhome, will you have a look at the bad boy we knocked up today? It was lovely.
We had a lovely roast.
And luckily, smelling that Indian takeaway, it doesn't contain any calories.
Exactly that.
But I am going to go to bed and cry myself to sleep as soon as this live's over.
Lou's saying, well done, Carole, for facing your fears. Yeah, check out our Banff vlog if you want to know what Lou's on about. I thought I could be brave and go up on the Banff gondola up to the top of Sulphur Mountain in Banff, and I just couldn't, sadly.
Well, you did.
I did it, but it was a bit of a mess.
You got up there.
So, yeah, I had a panic attack. So do go and check that out. Amanda's here from Blackpool. So lovely to see you. We're catching up with Amanda on Saturday. We do, with our Patreon, we do some meetups. So we're meeting up with we've got an exciting weekend. We've got Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And we're meeting up with people from our patrons on YouTube members. So if you want to know more about that, just check the description below. Alfie's just about to have a Bakewell tart with custard.
Oh, I'll tell you something. In all fairness, I mean, you can't go wrong with anything with custard, can you?
No,
I think I'd eat my own hand if it had custard on it.
And Sean's just saying, yes, they're still on Royal Caribbean. So thanks, Sean, for that. The washy, wash your hands sticks in your head. It does.
Wasn't that? You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. And no, I'm not wrong because I definitely can visualize this. Wasn't there outside one of the restaurants? I can't remember what cruise line it was, but there was actually two waiters, and one of them was playing a song.
He was. That was. Was that Royal? I think
it might have been Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, I think it was.
Singing a song about washing your hands.
Exactly.
And I mean, how can you not wash your hands when there's a man singing a song on playing a guitar?
And Sarah Dafka just says, yes, through the passengers, even with the washy problem, still refuse. I don't know what's wrong with people.
Well, what they need to do
is not let them in.
Is not let them in.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same with dress codes. When they say there's a dress code.
Yeah.
And it's dress to impress night tonight, and then you'll get somebody going in a pair of shorts. It's like, who's to blame if they're in there in a pair of shorts? The person to blame
is letting them in.
Is the people letting them in.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's people out there who just go on about having to dress up like it's some sort of torture. But if you don't want to dress up and it's a certain night that requires you to dress up, stay in your cabin, get some room service, go to the places you can go that you haven't got to dress up. But don't think that you're special and that the rules don't apply to you, because that really grinds my gears.
Yeah, exactly. And lots of people agree. And why can't they? There's things before exactly that. Kevin's saying big white telephone. Have you not heard that one before?
No.
And Catherine saying totally agree. Hand washing is basic. What's the problem with it? And Martha's saying they were on Sky Princess last week and hardly any washed their hands on the way to the buffet. I counted 15 people that walked past me one morning while I was at the hand wash station. What is wrong with people? Right, let's go back to the questions then. So Adrian saying, hi, they were on 2-week cruise on Arvia from Sunday. Enjoy. Have a fabulous time.
You will. That's making me hungry now, because as soon as I think of, oh no, it's not Arvia, is it? Iona. Oh, they got that new street restauranty thing, aren't they, Arvia? Summit Street Diner,
they do. They've got
good.
some different things on there. Nick's just saying about They still guide you to wash your hands before you go. They're on Anthem. Yeah, Anthem. Yeah, Royal Caribbean are very good at doing that. So, Dick says, hello all. A little late today making a pear caramel and chocolate cake.
Oh, I'll
Oh,
tell you something.
Dick.
Well, what's going on? So I said we're on a diet. The people next
Ah,
door just got an Indian takeaway, and then you're talking like Alf is having bloody custard. Dick's
don't
having
swear.
Dick. I only said bloody, honey. If I cut my hand, it'd be all bloody, wouldn't it?
Well, I suppose.
Yeah, so shut your face.
Kevin's asking, since your caravan, is it safe to assume that the motorhomes and travel trailers are, let's say, more efficient than their American cousins, meaning smaller? Definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes. Funny enough, we had we were away with the cruising Canucks who were Canadian, and they said, "Oh yeah, my daughter's got a little caravan." And then she showed me a picture of the little caravan, and there were 6 of them sat around a dinner table in it. And it was bigger than our living room in our house.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, but that's only a little one. And I said, well, how big's that? And she, oh, I think it's just like 28 foot, I think. Like,
Yeah.
that was like 4 foot.
But I think all the caravan parks in the US cater for that.
Yeah.
Most of the parks in the UK, you can't have anything that's longer than 7 meters. So there are certain parks that can, but it really reduces your choice if you've got a big van. And obviously for parking, our 7 meters, that's how big ours is, isn't it? It fits on our drive, so we wouldn't want it to be any bigger than that. And for 2 of us, it's brilliant. We've got a little bed that we've made into a fixed end bed. We've got a little sitting area with a table. We've got kitchen just to the side here, so it's got everything we want. We've got a fridge, we've got a bathroom just behind us here, with a shower. So we're all self-contained, aren't we? And we're really loving it. It's funny, isn't it? Because we love cruising. There's nothing I don't think better than cruising around the world. However, what we do like to do is mix things up, and going back to basics and being in our motorhome is one of our favourite things. It's like last night or the night before, we played crib, didn't we? For hours, just sat in here playing crib.
Who won, Annie?
He wins. You've had a lot more practice than me. You used to be in a crib league, didn't you, when you were in Blakeney?
And who taught you to play?
You taught me to play. But I'm quite good, aren't I?
Yeah, you're
I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
That's a card game, by the way, for anybody who's thinking they're playing crib. It's a card game.
Yeah.
It's quite sort of deemed to be quite an old man game, really. But I've been playing it since I was about 20.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a very good game. It's a very good game. Right, so we've now on our phone here. So, gosh, I don't know whether we ought to continue or play. What do you think, Paulie?
Sure.
Let's. Can you hear us? Because I can't see. I need the.
What do you need?
So in the electronic box there. So we're now on our phone. So I don't know where. You hold this and carry on talking to the nice people. Sit down.
Hello, nice people.
Oh.
Sorry, Carole's just trying to get past me too. Just give you a little toilet. There's our bed back there, isn't it lovely? Fridge. There's that one. There's Carole trying to find stuff.
Don't.
I'm not facing you. You're facing at me, you monkey, innit? You know how the thing works.
Yeah, I think this is just. I don't know where I put it, Paulie.
What are you looking for?
To hold it up. The tripod.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, go to a question, Paulie, and let's continue until I can find it, and then. Well, I think.
Push it somewhere, but not much success. Oh no, I made it. Oh no, I made.
I think we need to do. This is just. Right then, so. Oh dear, this is a bit of a disaster, isn't it? I am. I'm getting a bit stressed because you can't hear. And I'd rather if we're going to do some lives, we do it professionally, isn't it? So this is a bit. Or should we just continue and wing it? What do you reckon, people? If you still want to stick around with us with our technical difficulties, let us know. Otherwise, I think what we might do is try again on Thursday. But let's go to. Because I can't think where I've put the tripod, Paulie. That's the difficulty thing. Well, it might come back on.
It won't come back on, will it?
It might. So, let's just have a look. We can do it like this. So let's have a look. Oh, this is terrible, isn't it? So anyway, so let's. Can you see us all here now? Oh dear, what a nightmare. So let's have a look. Kevin, people there. Thank you all for sticking around because this has been like obviously a bit of a nightmare. So let's go back to. Looks like the dodgy caravan internet. It did. It's the 5. We've got 5G here, and I'm not sure why that's been a problem. But anyway, let's go back to see if we've got some more questions here. So, and then we can let's have a look. Right, so are we back on there? Enter studio.
Well, we were, and then we start again.
So let's have a look for the next question anyway. Dick's saying, sorry you put that on there before. Oh, here we are. We're back. I tell you what's going on. I know what's going on there because we've got to open. Oh my gosh. Doing lives with technical issues with. I think if it buffers again, we'll call it a night, isn't it? Because but let's carry on and see how it is. And thanks for those guys that have stuck around. What a pig and pog, isn't it? Just proves we're alive, says John. I know, but it's I always got. We had 44 Mbps's, which you know for doing a live stream is don't get stressed. It's funny. Oh dear. Anyway, let's go back to the questions. So Let's see what's wing it. Everyone's saying you're back. Yes, you're back. You're not back. So Innocents Abroad said, I bet they've just shut down the laptop and ran next door to get Indian food. Samosa and naan bread are terribly hard to resist.
They are.
Still better than Princess Internet, says the cruise boys. Oh dear. Right, let's go back to some questions then. So where were we? So hoping the camper's got a nice aft. It hasn't got a bad one, has it, Paulie?
No, it's where our bed is at the aft. So we've got an aft cabin, I suppose, haven't we?
We have got an aft cabin. Now, I see the cruise engaged was here, and now all the comments have gone all funny. So, oh, thanks. The cruise and conductor just saying we can see and hear you. So, so thanks for that, guys. The cruise and gaze were here. I can't see your comment, but I know that you've just got married on Sky Princess, and I'm sure I can't remember what your comment said. I've seen it pop up, but I hope you had a fantastic wedding. So do let us know now that we're back in the land of the living. Lots of questions about hand washing there. Cruise and Gay say they chose Take 5 as our venue. We could have had Deck 16, our Vista or Wedding Chapel. The Cruise and Canucks' daughter got married on Sky Princess 2 and had the Take 5, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm glad it really went well for you. So how awesome's that? So let's see what questions we've got here. Lou says they love the camper van as well. Love it. There's no plans or schedule. Yeah, we're just so chilled out, aren't we, Paulie? It's just absolutely lovely. And Davcat said, open the camper door up again. Yes, we've got to open.
I never closed it.
So let's see. So pop your questions back in and we'll see if Marianne's saying there's 129 people watching and only 52 likes. Please hit that like button. Yes, please do. We'd appreciate that.
Oh, well, I remember when we did our live last week and I said about, can you please, when we've had the most reactions and comments to a video ever with our video that went out on Friday.
The Banff one.
And when were doing the live before the video went out, I said, just put a comment on that, even if it's only about tea towels. And we had some tea towel comments.
We did.
And the irony of that tea towel comment was, when we got to our first campsite, Carole said, oh, where's the tea towels, mate? And between us, none of us packed any tea towels.
No,
so we had to go and buy some.
Mark McDonald says, heck with professional, just carry on. Camping is fun.
Yes.
John Freeman says the tripod's next to the tea towels. Brilliant. Joe Cat says this is far more entertaining than pointless. That's a funny show, isn't it? We've watched it a few times, and I just can't get my head around that. But I
know the premise of it, but I just don't find it very entertaining, to be honest.
So let's see. Litchfield is a very lovely city village on your way back from the peaks. We have a fab cathedral, lots of lovely restaurants, and great cider.
Oh.
Wanda's here from Ontario, Bradford in Ontario. Cheryl saying, reminds when your next cruise is. We're on Azamara onwards at the end of November. So, yes, that's our next one.
And we're going with two of our favourite people.
We are.
In the whole wide world.
Yeah, Bob and Holly.
We've got lots of favourite people, so don't feel disgruntled if you're not Bob and Holly.
Nick's asking a good question about perks. Do you have any perks on any cruise lines that you do take advantage? We're still cattle class and celebrity. Because we do a lot of cruise lines, we haven't got to the top of anyone, have we, the loyalty programs?
No.
If Morella had one, we'd be at the top, but that's one thing that Morella don't do, which is really disappointing. With celebrity, we're only on we're like second, aren't we, as is the Princess. If there's any laundry to be had, that is a perk that we will definitely take advantage of. You often get some odd free drinks and stuff, don't you? But perks that we are on the levels that we're on. You think after all the cruises, after 59 cruises, we would have crewed some, but we haven't crewed very much atop, have we really?
It's 49 cruises, by the way. Don't listen to her.
What did I say?
59.
Did I say 59?
Yes, you're
See, I'm all stressed.
Yeah.
Sam says, going on Azamara Quest in April, do you think they've improved since your Australia cruise?
Well, we'll let you know because we're going on in November.
So here's the difficult one, because with the main issues we had was with guest relations. We're hoping that obviously that team has improved, but we're hoping that what we experienced around the ship with the excellent food, excellent entertainment, and their fabulous Azamara nights is as good as it was when we were on Quest, because that was absolutely fantastic. I think it was the actual customer service side that was the issue. And yes, we are hoping that if we do have, I'm just hoping we don't have any issues, but if we do, we're hoping that we don't have a repeat performance, but we will let you know all about that when we're back. Cruise and Gaze was saying, we were wondering what your favourite complaint from a fellow passenger was. Last week, somebody was moaning the automatic doors were working too slowly. People are just, well, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
No.
Can you have a complaint? But if one comes into my head, I'll let you know. Nick Tours is here, so lovely to see you, Nick. I see you had a lovely trip here to Canada. What was your favourite part of it besides your Air Canada flight? Definitely not that part.
After the Air Canada flight, it was hard to top, wasn't it, really?
Favorite part.
There is just so many. Yeah,
Banff was awesome. Jasper was awesome. The Rocky Mountaineer was just absolutely amazing. And that's our next 2 episodes out. Episode about Jasper's out Friday. Rocky Mountaineer I'm hoping to have out by the following Friday. Vancouver wasn't our favorite place, was it? We didn't. It was nice, but from what's that fly?
Yeah, I still missed it.
So Vancouver, but maybe we didn't have a lot of time in Vancouver and didn't see very much. We've seen a bit of Stanley Park and a little bit, but so if we did go back, then we need to venture further afield, I think. So but hopefully, Nick, we may be coming to your neck of the wood, Toronto, in next September before we go into Gary's cruise, isn't it? So if you are, I'm sure you're in Toronto, aren't you, Nick? So if you are around, then that'd be great to catch up, because we had such good fun, didn't we, on Sky Princess? Cruise and Gain saying their wedding was absolutely fabulous. Thank you. Well and truly wowed us. We even got a tour of the bridge. Oh, fantastic. So let's see. Claire says she's first time to alive, and I'm 45 minutes late. Don't worry, we've had the worst technical issues, Claire, so don't worry about that.
So you've timed it just right.
Millie said that after watching our vlog about MSC Yacht Club on Virtuosa, we put a bid in for an upgrade on our cabin and got an inside in Yacht Club. Oh my God, the service, food and crew were amazing. Fab. Yeah, we found it was really good, and we only had a very brief taste of it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Warren's asking, does Regent have a loyalty exchange? I don't think so, but Bob and Holly and people like that in here, we've never done Regent, so they may well be able to answer that for you.
I did see Dan floating about earlier. He might be able to answer that as well.
John's asking, have you been following the P&O Caribbean cruise saga? Angry customers, no 2-week flights. No, we haven't. The P&O Caribbean. I've seen that they've changed their provider, but I haven't seen anything else about that. So I think we'll have to have a look at that. Let's have a look. Rose said her friend complained the drinks on Saga were too strong. Oh, really? Oh, dear. So if you've got any questions, let us know, because this is sticking as well. The comments are all sticking. So if you've asked us a question, please just pop your question in again. Cruise and Canuck say, hi, Paul and Cara. Hopefully we're the highlight of Vancouver, or at least the poutine was. We're excited to be watching a Canada adventure. Can't wait for more. Thank you. Yes, we did enjoy poutine, didn't we?
Nice, yeah.
It's a when you think about poutine, about like the curds and the gravy and stuff, it sounds bizarre, but actually it was really, really tasty. So let's see, that Virtuoso Yacht Club Lounge was amazing for the fjords. Yes, the Virtuoso Yacht, it is, because it's right at the front of the ship, isn't it? It's absolutely fabulous. So so let's see what else we've got. Let's go back up here, because the comments are jumping all over the place. So please do write your questions in again. John said he's got 14 weeks to go for our fly cruise. Canaries and Madeira via Bristol and Azura. Looked at next year Caribbean cruise, but a bit of a stink with Manchester and Gatwick flights. So yeah, so obviously they've
just be aware, John, that the sneaky Bristol Council have put in like ultra low emission zone, or what congestion charge, or some cobblers.
Is it you?
Well, I don't know if it's whatever it is, but it's a money-making cash cow. And if you drive to Gatwick, to Bristol Airport, and you go under the Clifton Suspension Bridge, you would have gone through that zone.
Yeah.
And unlike the rip-off London one, they don't send you a thing saying you've driven through this zone, please give us £12. What they do is they send you a fine of £60. So if you want to drive that way, you have to pre-book it.
Yeah.
Whereas at least in London, even though it's an absolute disgrace, when you drive through it, they then send you a bill for whatever that day and you pay it. But, so do be aware of that. I mean, if you're getting a taxi or whatever, it's not your concern, but just in case you're
There are other ways to get around. But you just have to go in a different way. Yeah. So just don't go via the Clifton suspension bridge because, I
mean, Bristol was our go-to airport, but
it was.
now it wouldn't be our go-to airport.
Well, no, because we have to go around the hat.
Well, we have to go to like Western-super-Mare now to get to Bristol Airport.
Not quite that far, but yeah. So Mark's here from Irvine in California reporting.
Nice.
So let's see. Susan Colin's in her caravan in North Norfolk. Yes, Susan is. We were been talking on Discord, so you're having a lovely time there too. The sun was shining too, wasn't it? We've had mixed. The rain's supposed to be coming in tomorrow, so we'll see how we go about that. But then it's supposed to be nice for a couple of days. So, and Gary's saying to you about Mr. Morgan, absolutely agree. I don't want to sit next to someone who's just come off the pool deck if we're dressed up.
No.
Yeah, exactly that. And people should abide by rules. And there's other options, isn't there, for people to do that? So let's see. Frozen again. So let's have a look. Open up the caravan camper back door. We haven't got a back door.
No,
we've got two front doors, but we could have done that. So oh dear. Paul said he got taught to play crib. My brothers and I played crib when I was around 12. Wow. It's a great game, isn't it? It is a great game. And Joey said you get better internet in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah,
you do.
We did. Yeah, of course we
did.
That's
one thing about Cunard, wasn't it? We were impressed with their internet.
And they are going to be making it better as well, apparently.
Yeah, they are. So let's have a look. Oh my God, it's a quick plug this lead into the telephone box down the road. Oh dear. So throw some more questions at us then, and we can see, because they've just jumped all over the place. I can't see carry on camping. Oh dear. So let's have a look.
So if we're carry on camping, you must be Barbara Windsor then. Who am I?
Am I? Oh, what's his name?
What's Sid James?
Oh dear. Right. Where are we? Come on, questions. See if we can jump out. I can't. Those ones are. It's jumping, isn't it?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. She does that whizzy questions up and down thing with her mouse. So
Davcat Travels just asked, anyone done Navassa Cruise from Bristol yet? So much closer than Southampton for us. I'm not aware of anyone. We've been looking at their itineraries, but they haven't fitted in with the dates, have they? And they've got long itineraries, and we wanted to do just a week or less cruise with them, and there wasn't many options, was there, for that?
No, I think
so.
If it's going to be rubbish, you want it to be as short a space of time as rubbish as possible, but not as short as the Cruise Boys cruise, which was just one night because they cancelled it on the first night.
Go and check out the Cruise Boys video about that, because they were on there for, I don't even think they stayed on for one night. They did.
I think they let them stay on. They let them stay on for their evening meal, and then they had to get off in the morning, I think. They'll correct me if I'm wrong, if they're still on there.
Yeah. And John's just saying, Paula, we're coming up the M5 from Devon, so no worries. I lived in Bristol before country living. So you know about that, so that's good.
And Cruise Boys has already put that I'm definitely Sid James.
Nick's asking, what's the worst meal you ever had on a cruise? The worst meal? Oh, wow.
That's a toughie, isn't it?
The worst meal? I can't think of a worst meal, can you?
No.
Sorry, Nick. We've come to a bit of a...
we've had some average stuff, but nothing that was like putrid, to be honest. Can't think.
Oh, can't. Yeah. Cruise was saying 6 hours. We left the same night.
Oh, okay.
So,
it's not too bad then. It's good value for money.
And Martha's just saying, where is it? No, Millie. Oh, this jumped about then. So if you buy a soft drinks package on Cunard, do you still pay tax on the alcohol when you buy?
Yes.
You would still, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's service charge, isn't it? It's not tax.
It's a service charge.
Yeah.
If you're buying stuff that's not in the package, there's an automatic 15% added.
Yeah, exactly that. And there was I tried to click on it, but it jumped away. Martha, there it is, was just saying, I haven't done a Bastard from Bristol until, but we did do CMV, which we did from Bristol.
Yeah.
But found that very easy. 3 minutes walk from park to the terminal. Yeah, it's right by Avonmouth, isn't it? It's literally 30 minutes from Gloucester for us, so it is so convenient. But it's they can only have very small ships in there because they have to go out on the tide, don't they? It's tidal.
Yeah.
So they can only. But we went on Marco Polo, which was very entertaining. We had a great trip actually. It was very rough, but we were with friends and we just had a real good laugh, didn't we? Friends and family. So
it was the almost like perfect definition of a booze cruise, really. But I have to say, there was areas of the Marco Polo that were very pretty, but I've never been on a ship where you'd be walking down a corridor and then there'd be a step halfway. So if you had mobility issues, you had no...
And everything was wonky and sloped.
Yeah, it was weird.
In our cabin, the toilet flush, I had to jump to press it, and it was huge, wasn't it? Like a big, a huge big square. So, So Cruise was saying they're attempting to ambassador again this year. Will we sail? Well, hopefully. Susan was just asking how often the patrons meet up. When we're traveling around the country, we tend to identify when we're going to meet with our patrons, because we'll come to the Peak District and anyone in the Manchester area. We said if they fancied a meetup to get in touch. So so we're going to be doing them as we travel around. So we're hoping to get to London in November, and that's not confirmed yet. So we're hoping to do one there, and we're looking at doing some more around the country too, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we will let you know, Susan. So as I say, the patrons and YouTube members, we will be letting you know as soon as we've got some plans. Yeah, John saying P&O are now with the partners Mailith Aero, which has got no in-flight entertainment, no extra legroom. They used to be for transporting monkeys for labs. Oh wow!
No entertainment for like an 8-hour flight. I think I'd just get back off. If I got on an 8-hour flight and there was no telly in the back of the seat, I'd just get back off again.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? Oh, Luby just saying that weird toast you had on Virgin Cruises, the rainbow toast.
Oh,
yes, that's true.
Fairy toast. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
go back to the worst meal. Yes, I had fairy toast, which was if you threw it at somebody like a kung fu fighting star, it would have killed him. It was so hard.
Yeah,
I put about a pint of maple syrup on it, but that still wouldn't make it soft enough to eat. And it came with a strange chicken burger that was in a purple roll.
Yeah,
and that was vile. But the worst thing ever on Virgin, now bearing in mind Virgin has just won the best food on a cruise line, so I can only assume whoever that was, whoever gave him that award, is like a moron. But if you've ever been to the test kitchen on Virgin, which is truly a waste of 2 hours of your time, they do this one dish where you lift the cloche up. Is that the right saying?
Yeah.
You lift the cloche up and the smoke dissipates, I'm going to say. And on your plate is a load of peas and a snotty egg that hasn't been cooked properly. And apparently that's fine dining.
Well, it's experimental food, isn't it?
Well,
and Paul wasn't impressed.
Yes.
It's not our thing.
Mate. It was rubbish.
It was, yeah.
Anybody who says, well, I bet you somebody will come on and they say, oh, I had that egg one with the peas. It was nice. Well, I got no words of how awful it was. So thanks for reminding me about that.
Oh, let me get up. I'm just getting, I just see that there's a question here from Lewis. There's Andy, Sue and Lewis, who we met on Cunard.
Yes.
Asking about our itinerary on Azamara. And I've just thought, oh, I'll get that up because we were really excited about this itinerary, if I can find it.
She's doing two things now.
I know.
That could sap the internet from this now.
So let me see if I can get it up. But in the meantime, while I'm trying to find that, there were some questions about who's your favourite character on the TV show Keeping Up Appearances? We haven't watched
It's
that for
not
a long
something
time. No, we
It's
haven't
not
watched that for a long
something that was
time.
and it was a long time ago.
Cruise Boys say the risotto on MSC was the worst. Oh, and Daft Cat Travel was saying that the worst there was cold eggs Benedict on the QM2 after waiting over there in the Britannia dining room. Wow, really? So
I gotta be honest, we did. I mean, like I said, we love Cunard and we've given them a bit of a pasting tonight. But when my dad came on Cunard,
we waited a long time.
we
Didn't
went
we,
for breakfast and we waited forever and a day, and my dad's breakfast was cold. So, but the last time we went on, the food was fabulous, wasn't
couldn't fault it. So going back to Lewis's question,
which is the hair,
which is there. We start in Fort Lauderdale. We then go to not in this order by the looks. We then go to Ile-de-France. Is that Guadeloupe, isn't it? We go to Barbados overnight. We go to St. Lucia. We go to St. Martin. We go to St. Thomas, and we go to that's right, St. Thomas, St. Martin, Barbados overnight, St. Lucia, Ile-de-France, which is Guadeloupe, Virgin Gorda, and back to Fort Lauderdale. So really, really nice itinerary. Okay.
I do like House of Games.
So if you don't like, I do like. Paul loves that. Don't you?
I do like House of Games, but when there's that word crunch thing where you have to make 2 words out of 2 things you see, Carole just looks at me and say, "How would you even know that?
Yeah.
I don't get I don't know what's going on." She'll say to me, "I don't understand what's going on."
I don't get it. You're very good at stuff like that, though, aren't you? I'm not. Dav Catra was just saying, "Would love to do if the price is right." Sean didn't put us off. Yeah, I think know.
I was just seeing Warren Wolf's mean comment to me. I remind him of Onslow.
Who's Onslow?
Well, Onslow was in Keeping Up Appearances. He was the bin man in Coronation Street, and he was also Jim Royal's mate. Remember, he came round and helped him do the wallpapering with the fish slices. Well, thanks for that, Warren.
Oh dear. So John said he used to live in St. Thomas for 6 years. You'll love Virgin Gorda. Yeah, never been there. Actually, never heard of that island. Had we before? No. So yeah. So let's have a look. What
we're trying to do is give you the 10 minutes back that you lost earlier.
Exactly.
Earlier in the program.
What was the best meal you've had?
But if it goes off again,
yes,
that'll be curtains.
Well, Sticky, if you've got any more questions for this, please put them in the comments. But if it obviously buffers again, we'll call it a night. And apologies for this, but obviously it's out of our control. But what's the best meal you've had? We've had so many, haven't we?
Oh, it's so difficult, isn't it?
I always think of when I think of the steak and we had when we were with Lucas and Tess in Crown Grill on Regal Princess. I think still that's one of the most fantastic meals we've had. We had a fantastic meal on Tamarind with the Cruising Canucks on New Amsterdam.
Yeah, that was amazing. We had I'll tell you what, Kokoro,
yeah, on Saga,
which is a Nepalese.
Yeah.
Was it Indonesian?
Nepalese.
Yeah, absolutely off the chain.
They're our best. Yeah. Bob and Holly saying the P&O Air contract switches are stinky. Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's causing a lot of.
It's almost like when you look at stuff. I know people they're trying to save money. But the fact that there's already been a massive hoo-ha about it, what morons in charge of making these decisions? Because there's so much. I know P&O is cracking value for money, but already now we thought to ourselves, right? Arvia, they do some fantastic Caribbean itineraries towards Christmas time, and they're cracking value. But I already now don't want to do one. Because if I had to fly to the Caribbean in something like the bloody spruce goose, where you sat on a spruce goose, where you sat on, where you sat on like a wooden crate for 10 hours, and they give you bread and water if you're lucky. I already don't want to do that.
Yeah. So let's see. Darren Bird said I'd be Joan Sims in the Carry On films. Oh, I suppose she was Nursey, wasn't she?
No, that was bloody. What you call it? It was the matron. Matron. What was her name? The Big Bird.
Yeah, I know.
Artie Jakes.
Oh, he's saying Joan Sims.
Joan Sims. So, in Hattie Jakes was always, she was the biggest of the ones, and then Joan Sims was the next one. And then you had Barbara Windsor, who was the. But if you look at Joan Sims in the early Carry On films, she was quite babe-tastic.
Was she?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, thank you, Darren.
Yeah, Darren, you're on about the babe-tastic Joan Sims from the early ones.
Daft Catcher said Coriander pop up on QM2 was amazing. The Veranda Steakhouse. See, lots of people had really good experiences, didn't they, on QM2 on Veranda, and we didn't. So the actual experience was good, but our steak wasn't brilliant. Was it? It wasn't the best that we'd had.
It was so rare,
yeah,
that it kicked some of the chips off our plate and ran away.
It was. Paul Wilson's asking, how many countries have you visited? 54 it is now, isn't it?
50 something.
It's 54. So yeah, hoping to add a few new countries on next year. We haven't got any new countries this year, have we? Because we've got obviously Caribbean.
Is Guadeloupe a country?
I don't know.
Are we saying
what
that?
Part? It's the part of the Ile-de-France, isn't it? From that map there.
I don't know. You're just making words.
I don't know.
Now.
Does anyone know the answer to that?
Is Guadeloupe a country? Because if it is, then we got a new one coming.
Oh, and John's saying, what's your wallets and handbags in St. Thomas, especially in shopping area in Charlotte, Amelie? Go for a drink at Blackbeard's Castle. Used to get rat-faced tapios and ended up in the pool in uniform. You're naughty. Millie saying the Butcher's Cut on Virtuoso was amazing. Do you know what we really enjoyed on Virtuoso was the Mexican Hola. Yeah, that was really good, right, wasn't it? And not very expensive.
Jerry Capstick's agreeing with us that about kukuri.
Yeah, it is. That Nepalese food on
Jerry,
there
you must have lied about your age to get on SAG. I don't believe you.
And Ken is asking, have we ever had any of those picture scammers? I'm not sure what you mean by that. People wanting to have you taking their picture and then wanting to be paid. Is that what you mean? So yeah, you've got to be very careful, aren't you? Wherever we go now, we're very, very security conscious. We always make sure that we never put wallets in Paul's back pockets. We always have our bags towards our front. I'm over the top, aren't I? Paul sometimes like, wait, you just chill out a bit, but I'm just very specifically if you're carrying sort of gear around, we don't tend to take a GoPro in it if we feel that it's going to be an area that's particularly a problem. But yeah, so we don't tend to take pictures of people that we know are going to ask us for money. Kenneth just said that at the bottom. So we just try and not do that, because there is you just never know who's going to be upset, do you? Daft Cat Troll said, yes, very valid. Hollow was fab. Yes, it was. So Jerry said he's been 21 years old more than 3 times.
Fair play to you. You're looking good on it, Jerry.
Well, I want to say thank you all so much for sticking with us. There's been a bit of a stressful one, as you know, for me.
I haven't been stressed at all.
I know, but I like it to go because I love our hours. I'm disappointed that we've buffered a few times, but I'm so glad.
Well, just like the film Frozen, which is ironic because that's what happened to us. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. But if you've got any more comments for us, just pop them in the bottom now. If not, we're gonna sign off shortly. But please, if you haven't checked it out already, please check out our Banff episode that's out on our channel now. And make sure you're subscribed, because we've got Jasper coming on Friday, haven't we?
Jasper coming on Friday. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, because we've been led to believe, and this is for all you watching on catch up as well, we love you all. But just remember, 30% of the people that watch our lives aren't subscribed.
Yeah.
So when you're on our YouTube channel watching this or the rerun or anything at all that we do, there'll be a subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. It's free of charge. It costs you nothing. And if you hit the old bell as well, you'll get notifications of any new stuff that's coming your way.
Exactly that. And make sure you give us a thumbs up too.
Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah.
So thank you all for joining us. Wanda's just popped in there. What do you think of Canada? We loved it. So do check out our vlogs, as I've said, because you'll show it's probably one of the most beautiful countries we've ever been to, isn't it? And we met some lovely people too, really lovely people.
I mean, we met some strange people as well, but you know.
Anyway, I think that's us for now. Thanks again for joining, and we will hopefully be live next week. We're traveling up to Hope in the Peak District, and it depends obviously on our signal. So it
So
lies to you. This said it was 5G and that I could piggyback off my phone, and it was like 40 odd Mbps's, which you need about 4 to do a live
I
stream.
don't even know any of those words.
So I don't know why that went wrong. So apologies for that. But there we are. Anything else you want to add, Paulie Morgan?
Nothing at all.
Yes. So thanks for joining, guys, and we will see you soon.